Hi, I'm Mike McCormick at the GBTA studio, and I'm here for the post-game analysis with Doug Anderson from Amex GBT. We were just on stage a few minutes ago. Doug, thank you for stopping by in the studio.
Happy to be here, Mike.
You know, given all your experience both in Europe, the US, really around the world in various roles, where do you see this kind of the debate on, globalization versus more, let's say, nationalistic views? I mean, where do you come off, and see that? I mean, is globalization kind of the engine that won't stop, or will these recent trends slow that down?
Well, that's a great question. I am strongly in the camp of globalization driving economic growth, and I think it's well demonstrated for the last 15 or 20 years when we think about the companies that were in the room today, both the suppliers and the buyers, and the TMCs, and where growth has come from, and that is not going to stop. There are some, impediments on the horizon. We touched on two of them earlier. Both go to the elections we talked about, the fact that Britain has voted to leave the EU, and the kind of might lean toward isolationist kind of regime that Trump may bring in, or it's feared that Trump may bring in. But those kind of things are an impediment. They're not going to stop globalization. People are born with the innate desire to see, go, explore. They learn about products and services that are available in the global market that they may not see in their own country. They create demand. Yep. Demand creates a need for supply, and supply happens. And suppliers, not just airlines and hotels, but manufacturers of goods and services meet that demand. So it may slow down a little bit, but I think globalization will continue to drive this gigantic engine that powers the global economy, and there's no stopping it.
So with that, I would assume then that GBT's commitment to continue to expand globally and have that global footprint really goes unchanged, right?
Yeah, it does. And I think that the big deal there, and we've announced a strategic technology acquisition recently. We announced a small-ish acquisition we made in Finland of our partner in Finland. We would have a pipeline of 10 or 12 opportunities at any one time, half of them strategic, half of them strategic as in capability, the other half entering markets on a proprietary basis.
More on geography.
We go on a partner basis today, and the big deals, if it's not obvious, and I think it probably is to everybody, are the Middle East and Asia Pacific.
Right.
So I think you're now saying, GBTA is now saying that China is the biggest business travel market in the world, and Asia Pacific's the biggest regional travel market in the world, and we've got a long way to go as a group of global TMCs, the big four or so, to develop the scale necessary to maintain that position in Asia Pacific.
Yeah, because really at this point, even as, like you said, even though the market leaders, somewhat emerged in terms of TMC for size, scope, the realities are there's still a lot of room, a lot of runway, right, in terms of global expansion.
Tremendous amount of runway. If you look at the big floor global players, I can't quote market share, but it's certainly less than 15%.
Right.
It may be circa 10 or 12.
Right.
So there's a lot of fragmentation. There's a lot of pent-up demand for globalization. A lot of big global companies are moving from 15 or 20 suppliers to 3 or 4, and then on to one. And we've got to maintain we as the TMC have to maintain the infrastructure and the access to technology and content and all those things that make us what we are, and to remain competitive in that environment.
Well, I want to thank you for all your time and support, and thank you certainly for all your time and commitment you put in as the chair of the GBTA Foundation, and again for your time here in Frankfurt. Appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by.
It's my pleasure, Mike. Thank you.
All right.